Make Your Compact 2.0 under the Skill Development Series organized by the Placement Cell Shivaji College. Before we begin with the event, I request you all to kindly adhere to the following protocols. All the participants are requested to switch off their videos and mute themselves. Queries from the participants will be taken at the end in the question and answer session. You can drop your questions in the chat box during the session. Kindly fill the feedback form, the link for which will be shared in the chat box toward the end of the session. Please note that only those participants who will fill the feedback form will get the e-certificates. In case of misconduct, the participant responsible will be removed from the meeting. We request your cooperation in conducting this virtual event smoothly. We'll begin the event shortly. Thank you. A very good afternoon to one and all. On the behalf of Placement Cell Shivaji College, I, Muskan, welcome you all to the 3-day event organized by the Placement Cell of Shivaji College. The Placement Cell tirelessly works throughout the year to enhance the skills and opportunities of the student for a brighter future. Serving as a liaison between companies and students, the Placement Cell ensures that premier recruiters from diverse sectors provide placement and internship opportunities to the students. To build the skill set of the students and to ensure that they are highly sought after, the Placement Cell also organizes various events around the year under its skill development series. Today, we are here to inaugurate our 3-day event of Make Your Impact 2.0 under the skill development series, which aims to help in strengthening the skills of the students and give them deep insights about the three essential aspects of every placement session. That is, writing of an impactful resume, standing out in the group discussions round, and excelling in personal interviews. During the session, our speakers will also review the resumes sent by you all and also take mock GD and PI to make the session more helpful to you in building your skills. We hope that these sessions would help the students to be future ready and get well placed during the upcoming placement session. Before proceeding with the session, a quick reminder to everyone to kindly keep their videos disabled and audio on mute throughout the event so as to avoid streaming errors. I would now like to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us in the first session of Let Your Resume Speak as a part of 3-day event of Make Your Impact 2.0. The foremost thing every student must take care of before applying for any job or internship is to prepare a resume. A resume that is the summary of his or her qualification and skills. A resume that puts the first expression on the interviewer. A resume is a powerful marketing tool that will decide if you are the right person for the job. So, we are here with a session which will let you learn how to get your foot in the door and market your greatest commodity, yourself, through your resume. Now, it's time to invite the person without whose support and guidance this session would not have been possible. I'm talking about Dr. Jayata Thakur, the convener of the placement cell. Ma'am, I humbly request you to kindly address the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Muskan. Very good afternoon to all. It is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker, Ms. Meghna Gandhi, my dear colleagues, and our dear students to this three-day event of Make Your Impact 2.0 under the Skill Development Series of the Placement Cell of Shivaji College. Though our esteemed principal, Professor Shiv Kumar Sehdev, could not join us today, he has sent us his best wishes, and it is his constant motivation that infuses us with enthusiasm. The aim of this series is to Make Your Impact 2.0 is to boost skills of our students and make them highly sought after by top recruiters. Since it is a resume that is the first chance one gets to make a good impression on a potential employer, today's session of Let Your Resume Speak will focus on the resume writing part of the process. Our highly distinguished speaker, Ms. Meghna Gandhi, with her extensive experience as a former HR professional as well as her own firm CV stylist, is the perfect person for you to get insights into the hallmarks of a good resume and the specific do's and don'ts for you to follow. I believe this session will not only be beneficial to those students who want to get placed in jobs after college, but also for those who want to pursue higher studies. Without further ado, I will now hand over the virtual mic to Muskan to take the session forward. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you all to the speaker of the day, Ms. Meghna Gandhi. Ms. Meghna Gandhi is a professional resume writer with more than 9 years of extensive experience in the field. She is the founder of CV Stylist and is credited for scoring for highest CS80 score amongst the team with nil customer complaints. She has received certificate of appreciation for securing nil complaints and maximum consumer satisfaction. Over these years, she has successfully crafted and delivered over 5,000 resumes, 2,000 cover letters, and around 1,000 plus LinkedIn profiles. She is specialized in providing high quality content and desired formats to clients according to the diverse geographical regions like India, the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, Asia, UAE, and African countries. Being a former HR professional, she also knows how to put your application on the top of scrutiny by developing ATS complaint resume or CVs. We welcome you, ma'am. Without much ado, I request you, ma'am, to kindly start with the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Muskan, for this introduction. And I would like to thank you, all of you, the complete placement cell of the Shivaji College, for having me here and giving me an opportunity where I can share my exposure, my experience, which of course going to help all of them, all these students out there going to explore the new opportunities in the world of corporate world, I would say. So here we are here to talk about resume, which I think is an important and the first step to go ahead with. And I feel that whenever we are looking forward for a new opportunity in the market, whenever we are looking forward to start a career, the first thing that comes in our mind, how to pitch ourselves, how to tell everybody that what kind of skills that I'm having, what kind of exposure that I already have, what is the am I a right fit to your job or not, how we'll do it. Unfortunately, we don't have that platform where we go ahead and straightforward talk to the recruiter and tell about our experiences and skills that we are already having. So we have this opportunity to draft a good resume for ourselves, which will help us land good jobs for for your future assignments and all. So here I will be sharing a one presentation with you all, and I'll be taking through how we're going to prepare this, this document, this resume for ourselves. We without needing a need, without looking forward for any help from outside, as in professional resume from any professional resume writer. Since we are the best person who knows what we have already done in our career, So I guess this is the best thing, that we should sit and know how to draft the resume, and we can do it very easily. Okay, so let me know, Muskan, once you're able to see my screen. So will you be able to see the screen, Muskan?
Not yet, ma'am.
Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Okay. So this whole session will include purpose of resume and information that we which should be part of the resume. So we most of the time we got confused that what should be the part of resume, what should be the correct heading to explain anything about any particular topic or something. And the first thing that comes in our mind is purpose of resume. Most of the time we think that resume will land us to good opportunity jobs, it's going to be land a lot of jobs for us. So I tell you what is the purpose of resume. So we have to be very correct in that manner, that what is the purpose of a resume. So here it goes. So when we say the purpose of resume is not is we most of the time we believe that resume will going to land a lot of jobs for us. So that's not true. It is the resume is to bring you the opportunity from the market, the maximum opportunity we can grab from the market. It's not that it's going to land you with the jobs. No, at the end of the day, how you perform in the interview will actually going to impact the recruiter and will land you a job. But from resume, you can get those opportunities to present yourself to the recruiter basically. So most of the time when we say that, I have spent good time on preparing a resume, and then it's going to get me a good job, I feel that it should be very clear that it's going to land us the interview. At the end of the day, how we perform in those interview makes a huge difference, and then we're going to get the job. So we have to be very clear. And then there's a very important thing when we are designing our own resume, since it is just going to bring us the job opportunity, but not the job. So we have to be ensure that whatever content we've been putting in the draft, it is me. It is one who's drafting the resume. It has to be come up as your true self. It cannot be a contradictory statement that I've been preparing resume. Before preparing resume, I have researched on several other resume. I've taken help of my seniors, or maybe I've taken help from my friends or relatives, and I've gone through with their CVs. Accordingly, I've prepared my resume. I've copy pasted some content from internet or Google, and I've drafted well, a very good resume, which may land you with job opportunities. But when at the time of interview, it'll create a lot of confusion in recruiter's mind, and as well as it will not going to help you out, because once the questions start, basis of the resume that you have submitted will make a problem. So always try to present your true self in the resume. So whatever you are putting down in the resume should be something that you have already worked on, something that you know, maybe through theoretical or maybe through practical, but you know that thing. So because resume is to give a is resume is to give your potential employer feel that your past experience, about your past experiences and skills. And then remember, you have to be yourself in the resume itself. So this is the whole purpose and the motive of the resume, to just be yourself and just understand that this will going to fetch opportunities from you, not going to give you a job for sure. What should be the second, once we are done, once we understand that, okay, fine, my resume will going to fetch me out good opportunity from the market. Now I have to draft that resume. How to do that? What should be the inclusion? I have to more, write what should be the title, what should be the headings of the resume, what should be the inclusion in my entire graduation section, tenure, in my internships. I have done so many things, but what to put and how to put. So here is the inclusion that we feel should be the part of any resume, specifically for the students, those who are letting them out for corporate jobs and all, whatever they are looking forward for your future assignments. So these are the inclusion. First is that your resume should have the summary of your education qualification details. So when I'm saying that I have completed my education, so it should be well reflected in the resume. It should be telling your the recruiter that this is what you have studied. So when I say that this is what you have studied, doesn't mean that you've been talking about your course name and then you've been listing down your your subjects. No, I didn't mean that. When I say that summary of your education qualification detail means that you talk about your program that you have done and then learnings of that programs. So it could be any learnings. When you go through with any particular program, there are a lot of things that you experience, and then try to pen down those things in a very simple language. Don't feel that you have to bring out a flourish and a way too professional language. Nobody is looking forward for that. Nobody even have that time to spend on time to understand that flourish language. No, be very simple and write about your learnings of the program that you have learned. Okay, so this is one important thing when what recruiters look from your side in the resume. Second, skills and experience relevant to that field. Most of the time we end up pen down, we write about whatever we have experience, skills, our participations in different fields. No, so we need to understand that for what profile are we targeting for. So if I wanted to be into profile of BA, like let's say business analyst. So what all relevant experiences, skills I have related to that profile, we need to understand. If I feel that I wanted to become I wanted to get into profile of market research. So I need to understand and I need to evaluate in myself that what all skills and experience I already have to pitch in. So it cannot be like that I'm looking forward for any job and then I say that I'm a best candidate because I have so many experience. What recruiter wants to know is that what is the relevant experience you have for that job. So that relevance matters a lot. Whatever target role you have in your mind, whatever target job you have in your mind, try and evaluate and think for a minute that what is the relevant skills and experience you have for that job, and try to pen down. Okay, so third thing that we will focus is the objective and accomplishment. So most of the time, when the fact is that when we are resume something talking about yourself when you are not there, so how we're going to showcase our capability levels, and how we're going to tell recruiter about my objective. So we have to be very clear in our objective. We have to be resume. Basically, the fact is that no recruiter give more than 10 to 20 seconds on one resume. So in that case, when they're hardly giving 10-20 seconds on one resume, so I don't think so they have this much time to understand if there is any confusion in the document. So we have to be very clear in our objective. We have to be very upfront in telling them this kind of roles and opportunities I'm looking forward for. So your objective in the resume should be coming up well. It should be the moment reader read out your resume, they'll understand. Okay, fine. This person is looking forward for this kind of roles in his future assignments. So you have to see and you have to evaluate that what is the best fit for myself, what all kind of jobs I could I can actually target for. And though when you evaluate those things, then it'll be very easy for you to pen down your objective in the resume. Similarly, accomplishment. When I say that I'm targeting for one particular kind of job, then first thing, how will I show my capability levels to the recruiter? So accomplishments are the only thing that help recruiter understand your capability level. Whenever you write your accomplishment, it showcase any recruiter that you have that confidence of presenting your accomplishments. So that showcase not only your achievement, but it showcase your capability, it showcase your confidence level as well. So try bring out your accomplishments in the resume. So, and when it comes to accomplishments, it also help you give, it gives you a chance to talk about those accomplishments over the interview as well, because whatever you're presenting to the recruiter at the end of the day, recruiters going to see that, and they're going to question about all of those things only. So if you talk about your accomplishment in the resume, that will give you an extra leverage, that you'll feel proud talking about those things. It'll be an extra topic in the time at the time of interview. Lastly will be your curricular extracurricular activities, because when it comes to when we are talking about entry level professional, those who are just starting up their career, recruiters, they people think that I've participated in so many debates, I've participated in webinars, I've participated in other things, and that will not make a huge difference in my resume, so let's not talk about it. But it's not true. Putting all your curricular activities will makes a huge difference. It showcase recruiter about your engagement in different aspects. So when you get into any corporate profile, when you get into corporate world, you see that it's not only about your job responsibilities. It's also about taking up the initiative for additional responsibilities as well. And that kind of your behavior will reflect through your extracurricular activities. Not because extracurricular activities are something which you're not bound to do, that you're doing it by your choice. So when you showcase that you are involved with extracurricular activities, it gives an impression to the recruiter that how flexible you are, how you are open to take up new opportunities apart from the regular KRA and the regular job which has been given to you as the time of you get hired. So these are the important aspect which will be as an inclusion has to have in the resume when you're pitching out yourself in the market. Going forward, what should be, the most, when we know that this is, I'm pitching out myself to the recruiter, this should be the inclusion, what should be the steps, how should I do that? Means when I know that this should be the, these are the things I should be the part of my resume, but how should I do that? Do I have to seek help for somebody else? So in my point of view, when you are starting your job, and when you wanted to start your job, and when you wanted to pitch yourself to any recruiter, and when you wanted to explore this kind of thing, then I guess you don't need to seek for any help. You should be sitting down and then understanding what I already have, and now how I have to figure out that to pen down those things on the paper. Choose a job objective. First thing is finding an actual job. I know myself, nobody else knows me better than me. So what, it is very easy for me if I sit down and think that what kind of jobs am I looking forward for. Am I wanted to pursue my career with a teaching job, or I wanted to be a person who will fetch out business for the company, being a business development manager or a somebody, or I wanted to be into analyst position. I wanted to analyze, work on the data, work on the different aspects of data, or whatever it is. Means I am the person who know the best what I'm looking forward for, and so as my job title supposed to be. So most of the time when I read out resume for all the fresher level candidate, I see the best title they have given in the resume is that their name and then resume or curriculum vitae or CV, and that's it. No, your the moment resume, anybody pick up your resume, it should be very clear that what you are targeting for. I I am, if I'm targeting any role, if suppose I wanted to be a teacher, it should be like entry level professional targeting for teaching profile. I'm entry level professional targeting for marketing professional profile. So I have to be very clear in my job title, because as I said earlier, recruiters do not have much time to give on you, read out your resume. They hardly have few seconds to read the resume. In few seconds, they will not going to put their all brains in to understand that profile. So the moment they open the profile and they see entry level professional targeting accounts and finance jobs, it will be very clear to them that okay, fine, this particular resume belongs to finance department, because this person is looking forward jobs in finance department. So job titles give really good impression. It should not be very wordy. It should be very few, one line with few words will make that's all. That's what it needs. I'm not talking about a very huge objective. No, a simple line will make a huge difference. Then find out what skills and knowledge and experience needed to do that target job. So when I say if somebody is targeting for accounts and finance job, so I understand, since you've been coming up from background where you've just completed your graduation and your studies and your program, and then you're just entering to a new world of jobs and corporate world. At that time, there are a lot of things that you might have, but we need to figure out what is the best fit for my job. If I'm saying that I wanted to get into finance and I wanted to get into accounts and finance, so what is the relevant skills for that job? How I am good fit for that job. So we need to analyze those core competencies of UMI. So now here's a tweaking. People do say skills, people do say core competency. We should not be using this word. We should be rather using knowledge purview. You at this level, I don't expect any experience of those skills from you, but you always have the knowledge. If somebody says that I wanted to get into one particular profile, he might have read something about this profile. He might know about those. If somebody wants to say that I wanted to get into profile of BA, so he knows about how to. He might have read about analysis to be done. He might have read or studied about data part or something or the other thing. Might be engaged with different stakeholders. So here I am been talking about the relevant skills and knowledge and experience. So when I say experience, I am just talking about your knowledge purview here. Okay, and maybe the experience that you've got in your internships. Not sure, but if in case you have come done some internships in your career, in the time tenure, then you can talk about those relevant skills. So your skills, you might have got a lot of skills and experience and knowledge, but you should be talking about the relevant skills, knowledge and experience related to that particular job that you are targeting for, not all. Okay, make a list of 3 4 strong skills and ability knowledge that makes you a good candidate for that target job. So how you do it? So when you list down all your skills, your strong points, so see that if I have given 8 points, that these are my skills and my experience and my knowledge that I have gained across these years, which 3 4 are most strongest one I should be talking about. And again, they has to be relevant to the kind of job that you are targeting for. So fetch out those 3 4 strongest skills that you feel, one, I know them very well. I've read about them, I studied about them, I've experienced them in my internships. These are my 3 4 strongest skills, I would say, and my abilities. So pick up those 3 4 strongest skills and talk about that in your resume. Each skills, and you have to, then once you talk about, recruiter never look forward for something which is only that you're telling them. If you showcase your examples, so I feel that whenever you say that these are my strong point, either you have read about that, studied about that, or you have experienced that. Or for everything that you, whatever thing you have done, you might have some concrete example for that. You might have some accomplishment. If it is part of your learnings, then I'm sure that you can explain some of your, you can give some examples that you have, what exactly you have read about that. And if it is a part of your internship, then you can share your achievements, your accomplishments to the recruiter. So that gives again, it gives a confidence to the recruiter that if you're saying that I am having these 3 4 strong skills in me, so either I have read this and this is what I have read, or or I have experienced this in my internship, for which I have got this accomplishment. I have been acknowledged by my mentors, I have been acknowledged by my management or whosoever it is when I was serving for an internship role. So giving the when you talking about your strong skills and when you give them the examples what you actually done, give again, it gives a strong confidence on you can hold on to the recruiter's confidence in that case. So when I say accomplishment specifically here, most of the people accomplish, they come up with a conclusion that when I'm talking about accomplishments or achievements, I am talking about awards, and I'm talking about the only the appreciations and all. No, I'm not talking about only the awards and appreciation. Accomplishment is something we in our language we give it in a uh, the in a form where you have in a car format, CAR, which is challenge. What was the challenge in your job? What was the issue? What was the situation? What was the action plan? A as an action plan. What was your action plan? You got one challenge, and this is the action plan, and then R stands for result. What was the outcome? What was the final result? So accomplishment covers this car format. What was the challenge you were facing? What was the action plan to that challenge? And what was the final result and an outcome? And then when you combine this all together, becomes an accomplishment. So never say that, and it's not like that nobody has an accomplishment. If you think for a minute, if you sat down and if you evaluate, you will find there are a lot of times that there was some challenge, there was some situation where you come up with some action plan, and you applied that, you implemented that action plan, and you that bring out a good result to you. It's just that we have to think over and over and then come up with that particular accomplishment. So one is the accomplishment for sure, kind of talking about your awards and recognition. But if you give your recruiter this kind of accomplishment where you've been talking about challenge, then action plan, and then result, I feel it gives more confidence again to the recruiter to understand your capability, and then it will going to help you out again, in getting that job, for sure for you. Also, it will again help you in the time of interview. So when we draft a resume, one thing is that we don't put anything much on the document. So recruiter picks up the questions from their side. But what if we give them the questions? How we give them? We will be talking about such things in the resume which are true to me. Means of course I'm talking about what I have already experienced, what I already have, and then I'm giving them a questions as well. So it'll be very easy for me that whatever I have penned down in the document and recruiter is asking a similar kind of thing for me, it'll be easy for me to answer those things. And again, on the other hand, if I'm just answering them well, it clears all doubts from the recruiter's end. So it is in our hand, it is purely in our hand, that uh, how we actually give those questions to the recruiter while at the time of interview. It's just that give a relevant content in the document which will help you in the entire journey. It will not only going to help you in fetching the opportunity, but at the time of interview also, if you're giving them such kind of data, they will going to ask you questions from that. They will only going to pick up questions from themselves when they don't find anything relevant in the resume itself. When they feel that, okay, fine, you have listed down your education, these are your skills, which seems to be very copy pasted, and then these are the internships that you have done. Under internship, you didn't mention anything, and this is your school 10th and 12th details, and that's it, nothing more than that. But if you give them good data to read out, they're going to come up with the questions from that particular data itself, and it'll become very easy because you have already researched on that, you've already give all your thoughts, you have already worked on that. So it become very easy, and you yourself feel very confident while answering those questions. So it's absolutely in our hand how we actually take through, we'll take our interview session. Going forward is the very important thing, that we at your level people get confused that what should be the relevant headings, what should I be putting in my resume. So these are the name, as I said, obviously name. So other thing is title, which I have made it very clear that title has to be very clear. I'm sorry, it's job objective. Title has to be very clear. What kind of job am I looking forward for? And straight away writing that title. Job objective covers in the title itself only. So I am entry level professional and I'm targeting for this kind of job profiles. It covers my title and job objective. Then it's profile snapshot. So most of the people give one liner or two liner and then that's it. No, profile snapshot should be the part, should cover nothing less than 4 to 5 points, because most of the time I tell you that when recruiters are looking forward, when they're reviewing the resume, they give a few seconds to the resume, and in few seconds the first thing that they read out in the resume and they take a call on is the profile snapshot. I'm not very sure that whether they go ahead with the entire resume. So when they're not going to the entire resume and they when they're checking only this one section, then this section has to be very good, has to be. So then there's no second thought on that. So how, what should be the inclusion of profile snapshot? One, that this is what you have completed, means I am a BBA professional or I am an MBA professional with XX years, months of internship experience. If you have internship experience, if not, then you can leave that part. Then zeal to make winning career in XYZ profiles. You can list down your profiles that you were looking forward for. One line should be this, talking about what you have completed, what you have recently completed, and then what you are targeting for. The second point should be about your skills and knowledge that you have. Talk about your skills and knowledge if you have. Or second point could be your internship, successfully completed two internship with these two organizations as a what if you, so most of the time companies give you internship title as intern, or they give you whatever, but there are always a profile under that, so talk about that title, job title, which obviously going to help you out. And then talk about your achievements. One achievement has to be a part of these profiles snapshot. As I said, accomplishment, achievement is something, situation, that challenge, action plan, and results. So ensure that if you have something like this, then it should be part of your profile snapshot. Then about your personal traits. So it's very important to tell recruiter that who you are in person. Am I a good communicator? Am I a good collaborator? Am I a good team player? Who I am as in personal trait. So this is a very important point in the profiles. And people they don't feel that they should be talking about personal traits, or they should not be talking about soft skills session. No. This is we should be talking about, because it's not only about your professional career that you have, it's not only about the education that you have got, it is all about it's also about who you are as a person. So recruiter do give emphasis, they emphasize on what exactly your personal traits are. So talking about your personal traits, a one liner to a personal trait will give a good impact to the recruiter at the end of the day. So once we're done with this 4 to 5 pointers about profile snapshot, then it goes to knowledge purview. As I said, at your level, it more of, I feel that most of you have knowledge purview rather than core competencies. I give you a quick difference between knowledge purview and core competencies. So knowledge purview, it could be anything that you read and learn about it. So it cannot be that you have experienced about it. But if you have something that you have experienced in your internship, then you can write a heading core competencies. Now these knowledge purview cannot be sentences. These are small keywords like uh, team management, or I would say project coordinator, or business analysis, business development. This could be keywords only. These are only keywords, and you have to research on these keywords. If you're applying for any particular job, and if you search for those jobs over LinkedIn or maybe Naukri.com or maybe any other platform, Indeed, irrespective of that fact, wherever you would like to explore these opportunities, you will see that in all of these profile there are small keywords hidden. So you have to bring out, and you have to be relevant in that. It cannot be that you are applying for accounts and finance job, you search out few jobs on LinkedIn or maybe on Naukri or any other platform, and then you see that, okay, fine, these are the keywords that I found, and I'll be copy pasting those in my resume. No, not at all. See the relevance, what you know about that particular job, and it can be your knowledge purview or a core competency. So I'm very clear. Knowledge purview is for those I were who, for which I've just worked on. I mean, it's just a theoretical part of my experience. Core competency is basically for one I've already experienced practically. Could be skills from my internships. Okay. Then obviously your education section, as I said, try give a liner or so what is your learning from that program. Never ever leave your education like this at entry level. When you already get into any new job, and when you have experience of 3 4 years or 5 years and going further, then you can leave your education section till, just write down your program name and the university name and the when did you passed out, that completed that some program. That's okay. But when you are on an entry level position, at that level you should be talking a liner or a so, not more than that, about a learning. What exactly? And I'm very specifically telling you not to talk about your subjects, just about your learnings, and see if you can again bring out some relevance to that particular job. Then after education, it will be internship that you worked on. Never leave the internship section blank. Write about your company name, showcase your tenure, which you served as an intern with that organization, and give them some content on that. Because recruiter will only going to refer this section when you will tell them what you have actually performed, what was your job over there, what was your roles and responsibility that recruiter has entrusted you got worked on. So talk about few roles and responsibility, not a list of roles and responsibility. Restrict them to again 4 to 5 pointers in one liner pointers, not again 2 or 3 liner pointers I'm here talking about. Then talk about your accomplishment if you have. Again, try to make more relevance to your target job. Can Because most of the time when you get into any corporate world, and when you get an exposure of internship, there are a lot of things that you have to do. There are a lot of additional responsibility that you got in that in that particular time frame, but try to bring out the most relevant one. So when I'm saying that you have to put only 4 to 5 pointers, that to be one liner pointer, you have to utilize that space in a more efficient manner, and try to bring out the relevant pointers, which will help you to get that target job. So internship part is there. Then of course your trainings, your certifications, seminars, webinars. Do write about all of those things that you have you have attended through, because that will again help recruiter to understand. Extracurricular activities are your engagement, your social engagements, your if you have participated in any sports or something, then you can put these things across the document, and then with again help recruiter to understand your engagements in the additional apart from the work that you do. Personal details, not caring much. No father, the name, nothing needed. Only 3 things needed in the personal details. That's your date of birth, languages and your address. That's it. Other than that, people do write declaration, signature. It's been ages that we don't use such kind of things in the resume. Not neither the references. If somebody look forward for reference or something, of course they can ask in the at the time of interview itself, and that's all. That's what they look for. Means that's the more thing where you're going to be closing your resume. Personal details with three things. Again, I'm repeating, your date of birth, languages known, and address. That's it. And of course, when you're writing your name, right after name, you've been writing the contact details, which is your phone number and email address, and the last is LinkedIn profile if you have. Also, never mention multiple email IDs or phone number, because again it creates confusion in recruiters' mind. So don't do that. Try giving one phone number and one email ID on which you are active on, and that's it. Don't feel that I have to write so many of email ID or maybe contact details, not needed. Over top of this, what should be my file name? Most of the time I see people sending resume, and I see people putting their file name as CV, resume, and that's it. Or maybe their just name. If I am a person, if I have to I have to give my resume file name, then my file name will be Meghna Gandhi resume dash content writer or a resume writer. If you are applying for accounts job, maybe, then your name resume dash accounts professional. Maybe if you're looking forward for marketing job, your name resume dash marketing professional. It becomes very easy for recruiter to pick up that file, save it in one folder, and when they wanted to recall and call you for an interview, they'll quickly type your name, and then in that because most of the time what recruiters do, they have set folders. They pick up the resume, they put it in one folder. If it is a marketing resume, they'll put it under marketing folder. If it is an accounts resume, they'll put it in accounts folder. And if they don't know what this resume belongs to, they'll put in others. So that others part, no, I don't know when those numbers come. So frankly, if the name of the file is really very important. So always write your proper full name with the resume and the job title that you're targeting for. Okay, going forward, so I feel that there's two type of resume. One is fantastic looking, the fabulous resume. When you see that resume, you feel this is an apt candidate, and the other is a simple, more of achievement driven resume, talking about very specific details in the resume. And it's a quite simple resume, but I feel that simple resume talking specific details will fetch you out the more opportunities, because people who do lot of research on Google, who do lot of research on fetching out asking for help from from their relatives, from their seniors, from their friends, and then they have they now they land up with 10-15 odd resumes from different people, and now they'll scrutinize that and then put thing across they'll pick the skill section from one resume, they'll pick the summary section from this resume, job title from this resume, and then they land up with very superb looking resume. Obviously this resume caters a lot of generic content. So where we have to focus, our focus is not to make resume which is too good to see, which is the moment any recruiter see that, they call you for an interview. No, our motive is not to make the resume too fancy. So because at the end of the day, resume should be reflecting your personality. It could not be two people. It cannot be possible that recruiter saw one resume talking fantastic about this person, and then when I call this person for an interview, it's an entirely different thing. It's entirely a different person I'm seeing altogether. So and that very second, recruiter loses the interest, and that is the only time when we think that, oh, I've got this opportunity, and where am I lacking, because I'm not presenting my true self. So the best way to build your resume is to think what I have in me and how I can pen down those things. From the previous slides, I have told you how we can actually fetch out the content. It's not, nowhere I've mentioned that you have to Google anything. Nowhere I mentioned that you have to speak to somebody and get the help for, or you need to ask for your relatives or your friend about, and give ask them for their resume, and then see what they have written in their resume, and you can copy paste. No, I'm not. I'm every time I've been telling you that you have to see what you already have, what you already learned, what you have already experienced. I know preparing that resume, that specific resume may take some time, may take almost double time, preparing a generic resume. But at the end of the day, when you're focusing, when you focus on building your resume, and when you present this resume to the recruiter, I'm sure this will going to help you out. This will give a clear picture to the recruiter, and when you get into an interview with that resume, it is like recruiter will feel that okay, fine, I already know this person because I've read through with this, in his draft. So I know this person already, and now I just wanted to take this conversation ahead. That's it. It should not be a feeling that I've read for somebody, I've read somebody's else resume, and I'm seeing somebody else. It should not be that case. So always take, and nowadays when we are going virtual with the no, in terms of interview, you have to prepare, you have to take interviews, exactly the same it was happening in past day, when we are approaching recruiters, and when we are in front of them, and when we are giving a physical interviews. So take everything from your side, it has to be same, nothing has been changed. So never thought that recruiter cannot judge on your personality, they cannot see whether you have copy pasted this content. They know everything. We've been recruiters are already been in industry from quite a long time. The moment if, any resume comes up in front of us, so we see that we able to understand that what is generic, what has been copy pasted, from where you have taken that content. But if you've been talking about something very concrete that you have experience cannot be copy pasted. So it is very obvious for us that if you have written some experience of yours, it will become very easy to understand, okay, fine, this person is true to his or herself. So, and that's the first thing that any recruiter will like, I feel. So do not waste your time on a lot of generic content, copy pasting, Google, and then asking resumes from your relatives and friend, and then seeing what is the best in them, and then putting that in your resume. No, do not do that. Now that you know what should be the part of your resume, now that you know what should be the headings, now that you know that how you have to work on your accomplishment things, how can you work on your content side, do it for yourself. And never ever feels that are you writing a correct English, or I have to work on the rephrasing of the English statements or something. No, don't do that, because that's not needed by the recruiter at all. So one thing that needed by the recruiter is a simple language describing about you, who you are basically. So I hope I'm a bit clear on that. And the very last thing is the proofreading. We can be writing so many pages. First of all, never go ahead with so many pages. You're at your level, one page resume is more than enough. You do not have to give recruiter too much of content or something. Make a simple resume, one page resume. If it is going to one and a half or 2 pages, that's okay. But keep it. And when I'm saying to 1.5 to 2 pages, I'm talking about those CVs which has internship. If you do not have any internship experience, that's okay. Just try to make your resume in that case one page. Just don't unnecessarily feel that I have to give so much content to the recruiter. And if I give a lengthy resume, it will give a good impression to the recruiter? No, not at all. If you give a simple one-pager resume to recruiter, it will be more easy for them to understand you and then take you through the opportunity that they have. So, and lastly, when you're done with all of these things, try proofread your document, because proofreading not only going to correct your grammar and punctuation and spelling errors, but it will going to help you understand that what you have already given, what you have already penned down. So you yourself will recall things in that. And lastly, instead of seeking help, now when you have already prepared your resume, showcase this resume to your, so to anybody who's experienced, maybe your, again, your relative or your mentors or your friends, whosoever you feel, and you feel, you can share this resume and then seek for their feedback. So whatever feedback you will get, on that feedback you can work on it. But this should be the last step, sharing your resume instead of asking them their resume. So even for the formatting, never ask for formatting, never take formats from Google. Make a very simple resume, you keep it in a very plain word format, that's it. Should be have, the resume should have breathing space in that, should have white space, should not be abhi ek one, I have to prepare a one pager resume from head to top. I'm just I'm just, I'm just talking about the content head to top. There's no breathing space, there's no white space, and it's all content all over the document. No, give some breathing space. And it's okay if it is going to 1.5 page, 2 pages, it's okay. If it is not going, then don't unnecessary stretches to one and a half page or 2 page. Whatever you content you have, you see with proper spacing and proper white space, whatever space they are taking, 1 page, 1.5 page, 2 page, 1 page, that's it. Pages, number of pages never matter. How you represent those things matter. Your content, I give 80% to your content, 20% is the formatting and grammatical errors and punctuation, spellings, all of those things. So at the end of the day, you have to proofread your document one time, twice, as many times as you can. If you feel there's a need of it, there are a lot of tools available in the on the Google itself, the Grammarly kind of tools and other tools as well. You can run that document on that tools and see if there is because most of the time what happen, we are writers, even we do that grammar check and punctuation, because when you're writing in flow, sometimes it happens that you are doing some grammar error and it's not coming up, it's not, you're not able to identify those errors. That's absolutely okay. There's no shame in that. You're checking your document on Grammarly, or you are checking and you're confirming. It's not, there's nothing, there's no harm in that. Go and check your, proofread your document wherever it is possible, and then share your resume with any experienced person. Space, I would, if you really ask me, should be your college mentors will help you out in that. So seek their help. You can share your resume with them, you can ask for their feedback, and then you, if you feel that that feedback is something where you can actually work on, then work on that feedback. And again, you can close it, and that's it. That's how you prepare your resume. And always share, whenever you're sharing your resume with anybody, share a PDF copy. Never use a Word copy for sharing your resume, because that's how it goes. Even if you're sharing to with your mentors, or you're sharing with your any recruiter or anybody, always share a PDF version. Never ever, never, do not, in fact, do not share a Word draft with anybody. So that's it. I guess I'm almost done to take you through the how to prepare a resume, what should be the inclusions of the resume, what exactly is the importance of the resume. Perfect. Thank you so much, Muskan. We can take this. I guess we can take this ahead now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was really informative. Now I guess it's time to get some resume reviewed. So could you just proceed with that?
Sure. One second. So I have few resume that, of course, I've got from the placements team itself. Allow me 1 minute. Let me share those.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Muskan, let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Okay, so I've got this resume of Arushi Bansal where I feel the name is good. Again, here I was talking about a job title, which is very important. I know this, she has written a commerce student, yoga instructor, that's okay. But job title is about what you are targeting for. Okay, then I see there's no profile summary. As I said that when you're targeting for any job and recruiter have very less time to review resume, profile summary is an important part of the resume. Okay, and then again, it will be really good at this level if you talk about something about your program, your learnings. When you say that you're an commerce student, would a liner or so about your profile summary will make an huge difference. Volunteer experience cannot be too this much lengthy. It should be the part, internships are more important. Bring out these internships as part of first page. Volunteer experience can be part of the last thing, can be part of the here. Certifications are more important at your level. Recruiter look forward for your certifications, whatever you have. Okay, so internship should come first after education, and then your certification, and last thing will be volunteering experience or social engagements or extracurricular activities. Again, if I see, she is trying to put achievements in this section, which is good, but if could this could be more informative. Means if I've been, so if in case, as I said, accomplishment, if you're talking about accomplishment, and if you can give more relevant content on that, what was, if you, even if you've been presented with the awards or something, for what reason you win and what was the initiative that you have taken, can be more initiative, more informative in terms of this. And this position of responsibility, you can again merge this with the irrelevant experience, not needed with, this kind of heading is not needed in the resume. This can be part of your experience itself. So overall, when I see this resume, if you really want me to ask about this resume, so this is telling everything but not giving a proper information. This resume has to give some proper information, where it's, I cannot be, one cannot just talk about pointers, nobody will understand the pointers only. So you have to be little informative. Okay, and then I see lot of space. Try not to use this format, left and right format. At your level, if you use proper normal simple format, which will cater the both pains, then it will be more easy for recruiter to understand. Again, it will not waste your space, and all of this content will be part of first one page only. So use always simple format. Do not use this left and right pane format. Another resume, if I pick, okay, Khushi Vijay. So when I see her resume, I actually found this this is good. Her name, the way she written, again, job title should be there, as I said earlier. She has again, she has used left and right. I know it's very common, and when you search out good templates on Google, they're going to show you this template. But this is for specifically the people, those who have good experience, those who are pretty old in the field, and they use this at your level. Again, if you use a simple format, that will be really great. And this whole section is opposite this summary, skill, proficiencies, language. This should be coming at the right hand side. All, even if you using this left and right, and if you feel that I'm liking this section, then all of these content she has given in the right hand side should be part of left pane, and this whole content should be part of right hand side. And always this cannot be in a same, I'm sorry, in same width. So left hand side should be The width should be catering 40% and right hand side which should be catering rest of the 60%. So always see this profile section, skills, languages should be coming on the left hand side. All your work experience should be coming on the right hand side. So this is the one most important thing. Then even if you're using this left and right pane on the second page, not do not use that. Keep it simple again, and all those extracurricular activities will be part of this side. So even if you see, and whosoever resume is this, so you can try this format. If you put all of this content in left side, and then you do the adjustment of that 40 to 60%, as I said, the width size, and you bring this work experience side on the right hand side, you will see that this particular content will be you able to cater again here as well. So, and when it comes to, as I said, punctuation, so this full stop, and first of all, whenever we are putting down the bullet points, we never use full stop with bullet points. Never use full stop with bullet points. So, and these are not aligned. So, may always see that whether your points are aligned or not. Align them and make it justified. So, this alignment, this punctuation, small things really give good impact to the recruiter. Also, it gives you space. It gives a lot of space. So, what happened when we are using this left and right pane? A lot of our space goes because of this only, and the unnecessary white space in the resume. So if you use this particular normal format, you will see automatically this particular section, all of this section, you will be getting on one page only, and your resume will not. Again, you can shrink this whole. I can see this is there's a lot of wastage of space here as well. So you can use this space, utilize the space wisely. If you give a job title, and then if you can just bring out contact details and your email ID in one line itself with proper spacing, then it'll be more, you'll get more space in the whole one page itself. And positioning of responsibility, so there's no such heading basically. Position of responsibility, so you have to merge it with, if it is part of your internship, merge it there. If it is part of your education, merge it there. Do not give this headings which are not acceptable in the market. So make it very simple. Educational background cannot be any heading. So you have to be academic details can be heading, education details can be heading, a simple one. Educational background cannot be any heading. Extracurricular is the one word that you can ensure. Languages, as I said, is very important, but should be part of your personal details. Keep it in the last. Never put it in the first page. If your resume is stretching to 2 pages, keep it in second page. If your resume is a one-pager document, try to give it in the last itself. Skills and proficiency, yes. As I said, skills and proficiency, core competencies, and all of these things are for person those who have experience it. For this resume, I would say this heading will go. For anybody who's not having any experience in terms of internship or something, then you can, instead of this heading, you can put it as a knowledge purview, whatever knowledge you have. Okay, summary again can be more informative. As I said, this is a good section because she's talk about independently collaborating with others on group projects, can be more elaborative because this part is showcasing about your personal traits. As I said, recruiter look forward for your personal traits as well, so this could be more informative. So this is the second resume that I have evaluated. Third resume, allow me. Okay, so this is the resume I was talking to you earlier, was it? So when I say one pager, it doesn't mean that I'm talking about content from head to toe. If you see, earlier resume has a lot of white space, and this resume do not have white space. So give some white space, and then your resume cannot start with your education and academic achievements. No, in the very first go, I cannot, if you don't know me, and if you wanted to know me, so I cannot be talking about my achievements first. Of course, I will introduce myself to you, who I am, what is my, what is my profile, what exactly the kind of person, then what is my education, then over that, this is what experience I have through internship or whatever opportunities that I have, and then going on with my achievements on those opportunities, and lastly will be my. So whenever you're drafting any resume, always keep this in mind, then that you are introducing yourself to somebody. So when you're introducing yourself, so talk about something. So profile summary, job objective, and title and your name cannot be. It's very mandatory to be the part of the resume. So never start your resume like this. Always try to bring some profile summary, then talk about your education and internship and so on and so forth. So, and then very important, give some breathing. If this whole of the content is going on 2 pages, going on one and a half pages, and you have to give some breathing space. Nobody will read out such a cluttered resume, and that's what recruiters do. They have less time, so they always seek for one odd thing in the resume to switch to next resume, and we don't wanted to give that one odd thing, even if this is the best profile and they don't read it, what is the use of it? Okay, so try to. And then extracurricular achievements, it's good to put content, but try to be less on the extracurriculum. Rather, you are this person, Prerna, whosoever has a resume is this. So she has actually talk about good, in terms of internship. She has given good content in internship. Again, this kind of heading is, there's no such heading. So try to merge it with the relevant heading. And but extracurricular content is too much to present, so you can reduce some content here. And then academic projects could be extracurricular activities should be the last thing in your resume. So you can bring out this academic project details right after internship details. So that will give more relevance to the document. Again, try to bring out, as I said, core competencies or knowledge purview and skills and proficiency, whatever job you're targeting for. Try bring out those kind of keyword in the resume, because at the end of the day, it will going to, at your level, it is no reference. No, there are hardly any references. So there will be ATS. So ATS is basically application tracking system. So your all of your resume will go through with that application tracking system. So when it is like application tracking system, so it goes, application tracking system works on the basis of keywords that your resume have. So try bring out relevant keywords for the job you're actually targeting for. Okay, that's all. Muskan, I guess I have these three resumes with me, and I've given my view on that. You can take this ahead now.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. So I guess it was very good session, and I'm sure it will help students to in the right direction, and everyone must have gained an
So,
ample amount of knowledge. So now it's time
yeah,
to take up the questions by the students. For that, I
sure.
would like to invite Ritu to continue with that. Ritu, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muskan. Before I proceed with the Q&A round, I request all the participants to switch on their cameras for a quick virtual photo session.
We can have a smile from everyone. Are we done?
Yes, ma'am, we can continue now.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Well, we have been receiving great responses over our social media handles. I'm sure everyone must be eager to know the answer to their questions. So, without any delay, let's proceed towards the question. Ma'am, the first question we have is, if someone don't have any awards, certificate at state or district level, then what extracurricular activity should one enroll to enhance their CV?
So first of all, there's nothing like you have to write whatever you have achieved at state level or something. No, whatever participations you have, I'm sure at college level, at school level, there are a lot of participation that we all go through. So even if talking about those achievements will make a huge difference to the recruiter. So be confident on whatever you have and write about that. So don't think that somebody has written about state level competition and how can I write about school level or college level? No, it's your achievement. Be confident and write about that.
Surely, ma'am, totally agreeing with it. The next question we have is, resume has to be short and to the point. How should one showcase their accomplishments in CAR format in few words?
So, as I said, do not think that is my resume is going on one page or 1.5 page or 2 pages. As I said, more relevant information you give to the recruiter will make a huge difference. So, if you are saying that you have some accomplishment, I'm sure at your level there cannot be like 6 7 accomplishment. There are only one two, and if you elaborate them in one or two pointers, that's okay. That one or two pointer will not going to take much of space, but it's going to take they're going to give more good impression to the recruiter. So utilize that space wisely.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question we have is, how do one make sure that their resume stands out?
As I said, if your resume do not have any generic content, if you didn't copy paste it from somewhere else, if you have given your resume good enough time from your side, and the moment you read out your resume and you feel that okay fine, this is me reflecting, this resume is reflecting me, then I feel you have to be confident with that your resume is good. So and lastly, take a feedback from any of your mentor that will help you out to refine more on that content. But the moment you read out your resume and you feel that this is me talking, this whole document is talking about myself, I don't think so you need any help on that.
The next question we have is, how to write a resume if someone is a fresher?
As I said, I have taken this session on that way only, that I'm keeping you on an entry level professional only. People, those who are trying getting into a corporate world. So all those details that I've mentioned, I'm sure whatever headings that I have shared with you will be you've already have content on that. So talk about those things and that's it. Fresher means the only thing you don't have is the internship section particularly, but that's okay. If you don't have any internship, then that's okay. If your resume will be one pager and whatever headings you can cover, just try to cover all those maximum. That's it.
Rightly stated, ma'am. The next question is, how can a physics research seeking student can make his her resume more interesting?
See, at the end of the day, your interview will makes a huge difference. So you just have to find a relevant job that you are targeting for and try to bring out more relevant keywords. As I said, so when I say keyword, again, it should be you should know about that, or if you have done such kind of internship or you worked on any particular kind of thing, then only you can keep it as a core competency. Because when there will be an interview, the interview will be entirely different for such students. So there they might seek for other information that of course you can't pen down on paper. So for all the students